And good morning. Welcome to the Legacy of Daniel video blog. Putting my words together still this early morning. Gotta warm up my brain here. Just got over the bridge to Camelot. There's the horizon where we'll be catching our sunrise. And we're back at the baseball field. Not sure what I'm going to be discussing today. I guess what we can discuss is we'll bring a couple topics together, a couple ideas together, mesh them together, and just see what we can ramble from the top of my head here. And what what we'll discuss is standing in the fullness of your courage. And so society is, unfortunately plagued with a lot of various irrational human behavior, we'll say. And because of irrational human behavior, there is a result or a consequence of uncleanness. And uncleanness is one word could be disgusting. Another word could be evil, and these then in turn lead to more irrational behavior, further unclean behavior, until there is some sort of interference, I guess we can say, and preferably running into a wall of enlightenment is the preferable outcome at the bottom of uncleanness and irrational behavior. But unfortunately, that doesn't always happen to everyone. I think a lot of the result of removing the nurturing of creativity and respect for the First Amendment right throughout society has greatly led to the inability to deal with irrational behavior and uncleanness throughout the society and throughout the individual's lifestyle. As a result, people now sometimes lead out into the world, the marketplace, social marketplace, to deal with frustration and anger. And we need to turn about this ship, and we need to start reducing the opportunities of uncleanness and irrational behavior, taking away that opportunity, taking away that chance for that occurrence. The only way this can really truly be done is we all need to, one, the nurturing of creativity, which I often regularly speak on, and the First Amendment right, having more respect for the First Amendment right. And now we need to start looking at what is squashing and squandering the creative spirit and the First Amendment right. And I think the one word that really comes to my mind is we have a society that is heavily become a unionized type of society, where there needs to be this somehow gathering of power there needs to be some sort of gathering of power by the people to stand against the tyrannical power of the government. And so the more I started thinking on this and kind of diving into this hole of trying to understand this, the more I just discovered that it's everyone always wants to say, oh, it's the union, it's the government, it's this or that, but the real problem that we are facing in society is the concept of unionism, and that needs to be replaced with a creative and vigorous work ethic built upon the proposition that all men are created equal, working to create an equitable equal society where all can participate and have opportunities to enhance, grow in the marketplace, economic marketplace, social marketplace. And through that, we have a more participatory type of society where the First Amendment right is respected in absolute sense, and so is the creative spirit continuously being nurtured. This unionism type of force has greatly squandered the First Amendment right and the creative spirit. And it needs to be replaced with something or an ideal that will actually truly lift people up. And that is what our government is supposed to do. That's what it was designed to do. That's why we have the framework that we have, the separation of church and state. We have our executive branch, our legislative branch. We have a very diverse economic system. We have the public school system and the infrastructure for that. We have a beautiful country with a history of a bunch of opportunities. There always has been. But over the past couple of decades, everything has become very much unionized throughout society. And it has greatly led to the decay of society. So we need to end this concept of unionism and replace it with a creative spirit. The creative spirit, the American creative spirit, to bring about the revelatory power of beauty. That is what this country needs, and it's quite literally what the people want. That is what we are here for, and that's what the government stands for. We the people. Not a unionism type of idea where we stand strong against some tyrannical government that has always taken away our rights, but that evil government doesn't really seem to exist once you step through the veil that the unionism ideology has brought upon us. So if we remove these concepts of unionism and replace it with a creative spirit, replace it with an absolute respect for the First Amendment right, replace it with ideas such as proposition all men are created equal, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, equal rights, inclusiveness, and what I call a participatory society, a participatory economy, where we're all working to enhance the economy and social marketplace together. It is the responsibility, not just the responsibility of the government, the Fed, corporations, or just a few single entrepreneurs to bring ideas, bring opportunities to society for us to participate in. It's the responsibility of we the people to bring about these ideas through the nurturing of the creative spirit. We nurture the future by appropriately nurturing the creative spirit in children and young adults, and teaching them how to have respect for the beautiful First Amendment right, so that then they can early on take part with their creative spirit through their First Amendment right in society, the economic marketplace, and they can then grow in institutions like the public schools, in the corporate world, maybe start a business, get involved in various activities. And that is what we need to begin focusing on. There is an abundance of opportunities standing before us, and we need to put on the fullness of our courage to stand up against any form of bullying, stand up against anyone that squanders or prevents the nurturing of the creative spirit, stand up against anyone or any ideals that are preventing the realization of the fullness that the First Amendment right provides and can provide, and the potential that is there for all Americans to take part in this beautiful First Amendment right. So we need to stand forward, we need to come forward and stand in the fullness of our courage this day throughout every citizen in America. Stand in your fullness of courage at the edge of your existence, the edge of your understanding, with the creative spirit. See the new realm that is before you. See the cliff of your existence, and beyond is the eternal realm of potential that must be nurtured with your creative spirit. Bring light into that realm. Bring beauty, bring creative spirit, bring opportunities. You do that with your courage, and you keep that courage on every step of the way, and you create a path for others. You are creating a future, and the power is within you to do that. You already have the power there. You just need to nurture it, and you need to have the courage to stand at the edge of your existence with the creative spirit. See beyond. See into the eternal realm of possibilities, and stop blaming the government. Stop blaming social ideas, social programs, whatever it may be, and start putting on your courage, all of it. It is what we are called to do. We are called to put on the fullness of our courage daily, standing at the edge of our existence, taking on responsibilities, nurturing the creative spirit within ourselves, in the future through children and young adults, so that there can be a plethora of opportunities in the future by just simply standing at the edge of your existence, taking responsibility, problem solving, lifting people up around you. It is the golden ticket into the city that sits on a hill, the beautiful Camelot. And that is what we need as a nation. Problem solvers, the creative spirit, absolute respect for the First Amendment right, the stopping of blaming of others, stopping the blaming of government, and start having a true loyalty to this nation, this beautiful nation, so that it could be lifted up into the fullness of the calling that has been placed upon it. We've all been adopted into it, and we now must take on that responsibility with courage and stop running away from it. That is what the edge of your existence is. It is your calling, and this nation has a calling, and it needs to be directed back to the edge of that existence. And it's not going to be easy, but we must begin turning this bark of liberty about to the edge of the existence that we currently know, with the ideas that we currently have, and test them, and then see the new realm, see the new creation that will be conceived in the fullness of this nation's courage and creative spirit. And we will go forth charging and clearing a path, not just for the citizens of this nation, the future of this nation, but for the entire world. And we will fulfill our destiny and bring about the glory that this nation deserves, and the people that this nation, and the glory for the people that deserve it. So that's it for my ramble today. Let's see if we're getting, it's still a little early for a sunrise, so we just still have the glowing horizon. And I do thank you. Remember, put on the fullness of your courage this day. Be a fighter for the creative spirit within you. Lead a life of creativity, absolute respect for the First Amendment right. Step to the edge of your existence. See the realm. See it in boldness. See it in courage. Do not fear it. And with a thorough, rational, constructive, and creative mindset, you can conceive your new creation, your new life, your new opportunities. Conceive it with the creative spirit, and just watch it be revealed before you. But you must work for it. It not going to happen just through prayer. You have to work with your hands, cleanliness, rational behavior, instruction, wisdom, enlightenment. Fight for it, and it will fight for you.